Here we have a new 2023 Buick Enclave Essence. And this one comes with a sport touring package, so you get those black 20-inch wheels. And this is the white frost tricoat paint, and then it has a dark galvanized with ebony perforated leather interior. Our powertrain consists of a 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6 mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Come around to the front here. Love that blacked out grille there, really sporty. And then we have the LED daytime running lights along with the LED headlamps there. But just love how you don't really see any plastic look on that front end there. Really, really premium. And there are those beautiful wheels there. We get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. Power door lock controls here. Power windows, one touch up and down automatic for the driver's side. Rear window lock, and then we have our power mirror controls there. Decent sized pocket is wide right there, and then you have a cup holder. And then we have our power liftgate controls. We can set it to max 3/4 to turn it off. Then you just press that button to open and close it. Electronic parking brake, press it to engage and hit the brake, press it down again to disengage. And there we have our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. Let's check out this rear legroom here. So I have the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size, and my knees are not touching the back of the seat, so that's impressive. Seat pockets on both sides. Me being 6'3", it's nice to be able to sit back here and then know that the driver, if they're the same size as me, can sit up there as well, no problem. But we have our rear automatic climate controls here. We can set our modes there, adjust temperature, put the auto mode on there, and then we can cut that off by turning the fan speed there. And then we have 2 USB-A ports. Sorry if that lighting is terrible. And we do have the premium dome lights, which I like. The third row is folded, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's go ahead and check out the back. But before we do that, see if we can look at this window sticker, even with this tinted glass on here. All your standard features. And then this one has the Experience Buick package, which I definitely recommend because you get that moonroof. The white frost tricoat for $1,100. I wouldn't pay it, but you might like that. And the sticker's right at $50,380. Fuel filler there. And then coming around to the back end, we also get our LED tail lights. Then we can hit the trunk. And there's our back seat. We can just pull this up, and then we can pull it again to fold it down. And then when the seat up front is up far enough, these will fold flat for additional storage. And then we have a storage under there as well. And then we have our dual exhaust. Let's take a look at this third row now that the seat is up. There that is there. And you can see we still have a little bit of leg room behind that second row, even with it all the way back. Then we have a USB port on either side along with 2 cup holders in that third row. And then we can even fold this seat down, pull up there, and then that'll fold flat too. So really, really nice. Does take a little bit of force to put it back up though. And then over here, here's our power front passenger seat with power lumbar support. And really likely we get that in this Enclave Essence, being able to have both seats have that adjustability. And then here are our owner's manuals in the glove compartment. But really just love that look of this Enclave. When they first came out, I wasn't sure about them, but every time I look at one, I'm like, man, that's clean. Let's go ahead and check out the engine bay. And it's covered up. There's that 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6. Let's go ahead and get out of the cold here, hop in the driver's seat. So I really like the leather wrap steering wheel here. Really, really nice looking. It feels really nice on a cold day like today. But over here, the radio, we get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio. And then we also have wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We can pull up our dual zone automatic climate controls here. Fan speed, adjusted temperature. We can put the auto mode on, and then automatically it'll tell us where we want the airflow to come from if we want to adjust that. And then we can also sync them there. And then we have 3-stage heated seats for the front, and then buttons and knobs for the climate controls down here. Then we can control the rear climate too and lock it from the rear passengers messing with it if you want that. And there's our backup camera there. Guidelines that follow you as you turn the steering wheel so you know where you're headed. And then we can toggle our auto stop here, hazards, parking sensors, lane keep assist with lane departure there. Nice size wireless charging pad here, SD card reader, USB-C and USB-A input, and that's where you can run your CarPlay or Android Auto. And then for the 9-speed, we do get this touch button shifter, so pull up here for reverse, press here for neutral, pull up here for drive, press here for the low gear, and then in the low, you can shift these paddle shifters here, and it'll show you in the bottom right corner of that gauge cluster what gear you're in. And then press P for park. Cup holders here, we can hide those. Center console cubby space with a removable tray. Pretty deep pocket, like that. And we do have a one-touch tilt and slide power sunroof there. That's part of that Experience Buick package, and then that rear skylight as well. Then we have our universal home remote here, sunglasses holder here, OnStar as well. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And back to the steering wheel, we can mess with our forward collision alert, gap there, cruise controls are here. And then to the right side of the steering wheel, voice recognition, mute. We can use the scroll bar as well as these arrows to go through the digital portion of that gauge cluster. Blinkers here, automatic high beams, toggle those here. Headlamp controls, they're on now. We can do corners, auto, turn the auto mode off. And then over to the right side, we have our windshield wiper controls. That's how we move the rear. And then one time for the front, intermittent low, high, and that's off there. Adjust the intermittent there. Push back for rear wiper fluid. Pull up for front wiper fluid. Then high beams. Push that back there when the lights are on. And then you can flash them there. Push button start. Key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2023 Buick Enclave Essence out on the road for a quick test drive. So I really like off the bat how the hood is sloped in front of me. Very easy to see out front. And just really good visibility all around in the front here. And of course, blind spot monitors help, having those in the mirrors. Now the 9-speed does a really good job at keeping the shifts nice and smooth. And you also have the power when you need it if you put your foot down. And really just like how the steering wheel feels, especially this 3-spoke wheel feels really nice, especially with the heat on. And then in the low gear, you can go ahead and use the paddle shifters if you want. And the shifts are relatively fast, specifically downshifts. And really good ride quality here. Of course, it's a Buick, so that's what you expect. And of course, having the heated seats helped as well. And mine went off. I think I turned them off on accident. But really, really nice ride quality here. and I'm getting right at 30 miles per gallon as I'm coming down this slight decline on the interstate, but you can expect 27, I think, is what the EPA rates it for. Brake pedal feels really, really strong. And really just noticed that even though it's windy out today, really good cabin acoustics in here, which is to be expected from Buick as well. Not hearing all that wind noise intruding in my space. But all in all, this is really easy to drive too. Like I said, the visibility is great, especially with your safety features, but also just having that kind of power with this V6 where it's simple to drive. When you need to floor it, it goes, but 98% of the time when you don't need to, just really easy to maneuver all the way around. From the braking to the gas, everything just feels normal, which people in this market, that's what they really want. And I'm not sure about the paddle shifters. I mean, maybe with this to be what a lot of people would consider to be a mom car, or maybe people a little older, 50s, 60s, get one of these to carry the grandchildren around. Maybe when the husband's driving or one of the kids is driving, it's nice to have these paddle shifters, but really not a necessity with this, in my opinion. Now you can tow with these, I think up to 3,000 or 3,500 pounds. So maybe you can use it for that in the low gear, but for the most part, really no need for them in my opinion, but they are nice to have. And they are nice and not flashy, I guess, to go with the rest of this vehicle. But overall, full thoughts on the car. For $51,000, not bad compared to everything else in the market. But you can get something cheaper that might not have more than you need, if that makes sense. So maybe you can get a Traverse LT leather. Doesn't have the roof and doesn't have the wheels, but you're saving 10 grand and you pretty much have everything else that comes on this. Of course, the interior won't be as nice and the exterior aesthetics are not as pleasing, but some people actually like how the Traverse looks better compared to this Enclave. Then of course, compared to the Highlander, the Pathfinder, everything else in this segment, around the same price for what you get. So it just depends on buyer preference at that point. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of the new 2023 Buick Enclave Essence with a Sport Touring package.